Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Alain. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Be a little bit somber tone today because I want to talk a little bit about the California fires. It's just devastating what's going on there. If you haven't really looked at the news or seen it, over 100,000 places evacuated. I think there's at least over 1,000 structures that have already been destroyed. 8,000 firefighters down there doing their best with those high winds, dry conditions. It's an inferno down there. And I have friends that live down there. I have family that live down there. My sister, her family's place in Agora Hills, Oak Park, that's less than 20 miles from Malibu. It's just right over the hill in the canyon. So, they're right there close to everything. I have other friends that live right down in those areas. So just terrible what's going on there. And we know a little bit about fires living up here in Montana. We have some terrible fire seasons. We've had Missoula just covered with smoke and evacuations, in other smaller towns not far from here. So I know, I've been to some of it. I've seen some of the big giant fires in the mountains, just a whole mountain covered with fire. And it's scary. It's terrible. But what's going on in California right now is worse. That's a nightmare for those folks. And just think, some of these people have lost absolutely everything. Yeah, you have insurance, but insurance can't replace so much that you have. And the feeling of loss when everything is gone. I read an article about Billy Crystal, him and his wife. They've lived in that home for 46 years, raised their kids, grandkids, everything gone. That has to be heartbreaking and devastating, regardless of what kind of insurance you have, regardless of what kind of money you might have. Billy Crystal having probably lots of money, correct? Great actor. But to lose everything like that, and so many people, not just celebrities, but other just regular ordinary folks like you and me, losing everything, that just has to be devastating. And they're going to need some help to get back on their feet. So just pretty terrible. And so that's, pretty crazy. Drinking out of a Rocky cup, because on the back side it says, it ain't about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Love that quote from Rocky. And, it's just, they're getting hit hard, and they are going to have to keep moving forward. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Vicky. Appreciate you being here. If you're in a situation like that, don't ignore evacuation warnings. Don't ignore, the emergency things. You have to leave. And that's why it's prudent to have, a bug out bag type for if you have to do something like that you can grab and leave with some of your stuff and things that you absolutely have to have. And so it's important to be prepared for that, because you can't wait around. They've already had, I think, 5 people killed in these fires so far. And, you can't wait, because those fires can go so fast. It's amazing how fast a fire can move, especially with the high winds they have down there. So the safety precaution right now is to have a bug out bag, have a plan that if you have to evacuate, you can. And when it's time to evacuate, when you're told to evacuate, do so. Don't ignore those warnings. And it's even better to do it early, because you can see they had all the traffic jams and everybody trying to get out. And then it becomes a huge mess as well. And then they were up there having to leave their vehicles and go out on foot because of the traffic jams. And then the emergency personnel had to go in there with bulldozers, and they were pushing cars out of the way to get emergency and get things through. So having some preparation and a better plan and be able to evacuate and get out early, keep yourself and maybe some of the most important things that you need safe, that's about the best you can do in a situation like that. There's really nothing else you can do if you're caught in a situation where that fire is coming. You have to leave. And if you're prepared to leave with some of what you need, you'll be a little bit better off. And other than that, there's no way that you can fortify I guess you could build a complete brick house and build a fireproof house, but most people aren't doing that. And so your preparation is be prepared to evacuate and do so early where you can avoid some of the rush, and never don't do it, because when those fires come in fast, it could be too late. Good morning, Thad. Appreciate you being here. That's what I wanted to say today. I just, feelings go out to the folks in California. It's just, it's terrible. I'm hoping my sister and her family's place stays safe. It's not far away. I'm sure they're engulfed with smoke and all of that. I tried to contact my sister yesterday and haven't heard back from her yet. She's actually wasn't in California. She's transitioning back and forth to Boise, where they're planning to move, but they're not completely out of California yet. But, got other friends and folks down there too. So, I hope they can get this stuff under control. It's not looking good. It's going to be worse before it gets better. And so, all my thoughts, prayers go out to the folks down there, and I hope they can get it under control. I hope no more lives are lost. I hope minimal more structures are lost, and that, things can get better. And they will get better. Just like Rocky said, they're getting hit hard, but they got to keep moving forward. Thanks, everybody. Make it a terrific Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow.